What is going on, guys? So today we are back with another Pokemon Masters video, and if you thought that Red was already just completely busted, wait until you see his sync grid. Let's get into it. So, since Red is currently unreleased, we are going to be taking a look at his sync grid using this fancy schmancy sync grid helper that's posted on Reddit and other places that I'm sure you can easily find. If I can remember, I'll leave a link in the description. Otherwise, you can see the title. It's literally that website right there, Pokemon-Masters-Stuff.github.io. Very easy. Okay. So basically, we're going to take a quick overview of everything in Red's sync grid, and holy cow, this guy is just insanely busted after looking at this sync grid. Okay, so we're going to start with our center circle here: speed, special defense, special attack, defense, attack, and HP. I like to go in order from top left to bottom right, so we're going to start in the top left quadrant here, working our way from the center outward. We have special attack, speed, special defense, defense, special attack, special attack. All of those are +5s. There's a ton of stat increases in this quadrant. We do have My Destiny Status Quo 4, which will require a level 2 sync move. Has a good chance of returning the user's lowered stats to normal when a move is successful. Okay, so that's pretty good. So My Destiny, of course, is going to lower defense and special defense, but if you by chance get this this actual tile unlocked, it has a good chance of returning that lower stat into a regular stat after you do a successful move. So, okay, that kind of helps mitigate some of the drop that you get with his stats. We do have Solar Flare 5, which is going to power up moves when the weather is sunny. Already on top of the sunny weather, increasing the power slightly. So that's even better. And then we do have Speeding Sun 2, which will quickly charge the move gauge when the weather is sunny as well. So that's freaking amazing. We do have our sync move, plus 25 power there. Starting from the next quadrant, center outward, we do have a special attack there, special defense, defense, and attack. And then here is where we have a ton of move increase stat base power. You know what I'm talking about. We got Heat Wave, just +3s all the way around. All kinds of extra power towards Heat Wave. And then we do have a Dire Hit plus MP Refresh 3, which has a moderate good chance of restoring 1 MP to the move if the move is successful. Of course, that's always going to be good. Next, in the bottom left-hand quadrant, we do have a speed, and then we have all these Fire Blitz, Flare Blitz. I said Fire Blitz in the Limelight, too. I don't know why. Flare Blitz, we have a bunch of move increases, base power there as well. We do have a My Destiny MP Refresh, which is good. We have a random HP +20 in the middle of all these crazy things. Now we do have Stand Fast 5, which is going to reduce the recoil damage received from using moves that have recoil in the effect tag. Okay, so you're automatically going to be able to mitigate some of the stat drops that you have based on your moves. Then you're going to be able to reduce some of the recoil that you take from your own moves. Holy cow. Okay. We also do have Haymaker, which is basically going to increase based on the amount of attack that has been raised. It powers up the sync move. So that kind of works into the fact that we have that small attack increase. If like we have an increase in, what was it? My Destiny said that if you have a power, if you've already used your sync move, you get an attack buff as well or something like that. That's kind of where this is going to come in handy. So when the attack has been raised, the more that the attack has been raised, you get a bigger power on your sync move, which is actually, that makes pretty decent sense there. We also do have another Stand Fast 5, which of course is going to reduce that recoil damage even more. And then we do have an Adrenaline 1, reduces the sync move countdown by 1 when a sync move is used for the first time. Holy cow. Okay, so not only do we have a passive that is going to randomly lower the sync move countdown whenever we use a move successfully, we're also going to have Adrenaline, which reduces the sync move countdown by 1 when a sync move is used for the first time. Holy cow. We do have our sync move power up there at the bottom. Then we do have a speed, a speed, a speed. And then you can see we do have blast burn, all kinds of blast burn power increases there. And then we have a power reserves 2, which of course is going to power up moves in a pinch, and a rejuvenate 6. Increase the user's move gauge by 6 after using a sync move. Holy cow. So this thing can be built out in a very, very interesting type of build. So I don't really have like any concise builds on me at the moment, but if I had to be a betting man, if I was gonna like sit down and try to think of one, I definitely would want to try to kind of balance it between what I'm going to be using before my sync move and what I'm going to be using after. So depending on which way you tend to go, you might want to steer clear of maybe Flare Blitz, just because you don't get it until after you go to your sync move. Just kind of depends on how you want to do it. Of course, I would always go for the center here. I really, really like the top left and the bottom left quadrants personally. So I could see myself going and actually filling this entire thing out. Well, that only leaves with 11 energy. Maybe we don't get the entire thing. Well, okay, so it depends on how much you care to run Blaine. If you don't really care for the sunny weather, obviously the solar flare and the speeding sun wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for you. And then maybe you want to go for this bottom section here. Stand fast would be really good. If you do have a level 3 sync move, I think both of those would actually be smart to get. If you don't, then you kind of... okay, so maybe we don't go for this defense here. And maybe we don't go for the special defense there. Just to kind of save some energy and some orbs there. I do like the idea of Haymaker. Maybe I personally think that I would stand more towards the stand fast, actually, so that we can make this completely connect. I like Adrenaline more than anything. That's really freaking cool. But I mean, after you get to your sync move, stand fast is going to make a lot of sense to kind of keep in mind. And then after that, I mean, you could kind of work your way up into this section here if you really wanted to. Maybe not getting so much of this special attack up here, and then getting some more of the heat wave stuff, depending on how you want to play it. If you personally like, if you like Blast Burn better, of course, you could go down into this little section here. Maybe go... depending on how many times you can actually pull red, you know, you can kind of go that route. But I mean, this is like a basic skeleton of what I would shoot for. Just depending on which route you want to go, it really will depend on whether you want to utilize more Blast Burn, more Flare Blitz, or more Heat Wave. I definitely think that this top left-hand quadrant could be good. If you don't necessarily care about the status quo, you know, you probably don't need it. I personally think that one of the funner builds to do with red would be to utilize Blaine. So I maybe would go for these top two up here, the ones that actually care about the weather being sunny. But I mean, if you just want to go for like raw power and just like go like all in on the power, then maybe something like this could be interesting, depending on how much you end up getting out of the banner. I think, I haven't done any like initial testing, but I think it makes more sense to go for the base power on the move, just because of how freaking insanely high red's special attack already is. So something like this would be interesting. That boosts up Heat Wave like insanely high. It gets a ton of Flare Blitz. It gets a stand fast, so you don't take nearly as much recoil damage. It also ends up giving you Haymaker, which gives you a lot more damage if your attack has been increased for the sync move. If you're not a fan of Heat Wave, then of course you can go like down into the trenches here for Blast Burn. If you end up getting a full 3 sync move level off of it, then you know, maybe you want to fill out Blast Burn instead. We could actually get rid of that, but well, might as well keep that because I don't see anything otherwise really relevant there. But I mean, honestly, like any of these build ideas would be really, really solid for Red. He is just going to be so much more busted after you obtain this sync grid and you start getting orbs and start just pouring things into this guy. Not only is his base kit just insanely powerful, but adding on this sync grid, dude, it makes him so much more better. So of course we are gonna go ahead and do a quick sync pair scout here. So let's go ahead and jump in. We are sticking to this Steven banner because I am so close to getting 400 scout points, and I'm not gonna waste any other gems on any other banner until Red finally releases. Okay, on the count of 3, if you wanna follow along, we're gonna go in 1, 2, 3. So no flashy animation. I have zero hopes. My hopes have all been thrown away. We have no good antenna. We have decent doors. Nope. And it is a Crasher Wake. So that is actually going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for watching. As always, remember that if you want to join the Discord, it is actually linked down in the description below. Also down there are links to YouTube memberships and Patreon if that's your thing. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and head out, but I will catch you in the next video.